Hi, so I'm going to talk about the summary response assignment. I uploaded two files in the summary response folder on Blackboard. The first one is the summary response handout that looks like this. The second one is how to summarize that looks like this. And then there were three article choices. Okay, so what I want you to do is pull up the one that looks like this and pause the video. When you pause the video, I want you to read both sides of it. Okay, just read it for information. So go ahead and hit pause and then come back after you've read it. Okay, so today we are going to think about and work about steps 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, really focusing on the summary of the summary response assignment. Okay, so what you're going to do is select an article from the Blackboard folder. Look through them, see which one speaks to you. You're going to record the bibliographic information on the top of the first page of the article. Over the next day or two, I will be posting a video on how to use Noodlebib. So just hold off on step number 2 if you're not familiar with it until I show you upload that video. Then you're going to go to step 3 and you're going to read the article several times. And you're going to think about what's the author trying to tell you about the topic. Make a mental note of the author if there's any credentials. Does the author cite sources or research or experts? Because that's going to come into play when we write the reaction or response part. Okay. Step number 4 is writing the objective summary. Okay. What a summary is a paraphrase of all of the main ideas in an essay or an article. It cites the author and the title. It contains the essay's thesis and main supporting ideas. It will probably use no direct quotation. It will not cite minor supporting details. When you're writing your summary, you're going to present the major points in the order that the author made them. And throughout your summary, you're going to use the author's last name frequently. Damon argues. Damon points out. Damon discusses. The summary should be no more than 1/3 the length of the original work. There is none of you in the summary. You are summarizing the author's main points. The second sheet that I'm going to pull up that I posted there breaks that down into 6 steps. And as long as you follow those 6 steps, your summary should be fine. But you have to follow those 6 steps. So what I want you to do is pause this video and pull up the second sheet, the how to summarize sheet. Go ahead and pause it. Okay, so summarizing is a critical study skill, but it's one that you can learn if you follow these steps. It basically involves condensing an original piece of writing into its most important pieces. Okay, there should be a thesis, what the author's most important point is. The main ideas must be referenced, but the examples are in most cases inappropriate in a summary. You need to put everything into your own words and sentence structure. Your own words and sentence structure. If you use even 1 or 2 distinct words of the original, you have to put quotation marks around them. It's plagiarism if you don't do that. Okay. So this should all be in your own words and sentence structure, and I'm going to show you an example. But these are the 6 steps that you are going to follow to complete the summary part of the summary reaction or summary response assignment. So step 1, you're going to read the original carefully, 2, 3, 4, 5, however long it takes for you to understand it completely and accurately. Step number 2, write on the article. We are going to annotate in the margins of the article. Okay. You're going to group the original writing into related paragraphs or sections. Write on the article pages. Next to each grouping, step 3, you're going to write a 1 or 2 sentence summary of the main idea in your own words. It goes right in the margin in the annotations. The second step, the second part of step 3 is you're going to put those sentences that you wrote into an outline. Once you do that, you're going to have a 1-sentence thesis. The thesis sentence should include the author's name, the name of the article and the publication, and his or her overall point of the article. Star that, underline that, highlight that. Okay. Once you have steps 1 through 4, you basically have the rough draft of the summary. Okay. Once you have the rough draft, okay, then you'll go through in step 6, which is to eliminate repetitions, make the summary coherent, adding transitional words and phrases. Okay. Your summary will just end with the last sentence you write in the margin, with your last number on your outline. Okay. Let me show you what that looks like. I have a sample article here. Okay. Let me make it a little smaller here. And let me stretch this. Can I stretch this? I don't know if I can stretch it. Okay. So there's an article. It's 2 pages. It's called How to Get Smart Again. Nope. I don't know if I can actually stretch this. All right. So sorry, we're going to do the best that we can here. Maybe if I make it a little bit smaller. Okay. So what I did was I read this article numerous times until I really understood what the author's point was. Then I went through and I grouped them with brackets here in the margin. These first 2 paragraphs are tied under the same idea, so I put a bracket that connected the first 2. This next paragraph is an idea of itself, so I bracketed that singularly. The next paragraph, an idea to itself, I bracketed that singularly. And then the last 2 paragraphs on here, I bracketed them together because they share the same idea. Once I did that for the whole article, then I go back and write in the margins, in my own words and sentence structure, what the main idea is that connects these. I do not use the author's main idea. I write my own. So if you want to pause this and read the article, and then read to see how I paraphrase the main idea. Okay, I want you to do that now. I want you to pause this. I want you to read those first 2 paragraphs because I grouped them together, and then read my paraphrase. And then read the next paragraph because that's standalone, and see how I paraphrased. So I want you to do that right now. Pause the recording and read through. Okay. So now if we look at the next step of the how to summarize, okay, that was steps 1, 2, and 3. Okay, well, part of 3, because now I have to put them into a topical outline. So all I did was take this first sentence that I wrote here in the margin, and I put it next to number 1 on an outline. I just copied what I wrote in the margin next to number 1. Then I find the second thing that I wrote in the margin, and that becomes number 2 on my outline. And then I find the third thing, and that becomes number 3, and so on and so forth. So you might have 12, 15, 20. None of the articles are super long. But your numbers, however many numbers you have here, is going to be dictated by how many groupings you did. So if you have 15 brackets, you're going to have 15 numbers on your outline. If you have 17 brackets, you're going to have 17 numbers on your outline. If you have 13 brackets, you're going to have 13 numbers on your outline. Okay? So on and so forth. So that is step 3. Okay? Step 4 then is the thesis. And in my thesis, I have to have the author's name, the name of the article, and the publication where that author was published, and then his or her overall point of the article. Steps 1 through 4 are what I want you to do for your homework for Monday or Tuesday. Okay, just steps 1 through 4. So when you're done, you're going to have an outline that has a thesis sentence at the top. So it's going to look like this. I haven't written my thesis statement yet because I haven't listed all of the topics yet. Okay, that's what I want you to do for the summary reaction. We're working through number 4 here, okay, and the overall assignment sheet. But I broke it down into 6 steps. And you're going to do steps 1 through 4 for Monday. I want you to email me, or Monday or Tuesday, depending on when your class meets. I want you to email me your outline with your thesis statement on it. So you're going to email me this. Okay? All right. Please don't forget about my office hours. I had to move Fridays back a little bit, but it's listed on announcements. All of your grades are up to date. I entered what I got. So your next grade then will be these steps 1 through 4. Okay? And then make sure you take notes on the grammar so that you'll be able to do some stuff with that next week. Okay? I hope you all are being well and staying safe and figuring out this new normal for a little bit. Send me an email if you have any questions or jump on Friday's office hour. Take care.